Welcome to the next episode of the CAPB podcast. Today's episode, we have Tom Day, otherwise known as Tegs, from Tegs Coaching. Welcome, Tegs.
Yes, boys. Thanks for having me. Gettttuuuuppp. Lovely.
Tegs, you have served for over 8.5 years in the Royal Marines. You are soon to leave this week. How does it feel to become a veteran?
It feels quite nice. It's a weird, like, it's one of those things where you're like, when you first put your chit in, you're like counting down the days and you're like, oh my God, it's still so long away. And I still remember putting my chit in like back in middle of April last year. And then like you get to the point where you're not wishing your time away. Like I've left on good terms. I'm very, very happy, very content with my career and what I've done. But like, as you obviously it's coming closer, you're like, oh yeah, I can't fucking wait to get out. And then proper curveball hit me fucking last week. And it was like, I literally just woke up and I was on like a Navy academy, like rugby camp. And my head was just like all over the place because the realization that I was literally out at this point, it was 2 weeks. It just hit me and I was like, fucking hell, where's the time gone? And it's almost like the reality like hit you that you're leaving behind all the fucking boys and everything behind you. And then, so that threw me a little bit of a fucking wobbly, but then chatted to a few lads that were also going outside at the same time as me. And they also said the exact same, and it's natural. But after that, and now I'm in like the last week now, feels like the chapter's closed, like everything, like all my kit's handed back, paperwork's fucking done, goodbyes have been fucking said, and now I'm just eager to get on to the next fucking chapter. Feel like I've been leaving for fucking years because I only started like the whole Tegs Coaching thing when I put my chit in because I didn't want to be that bloke that's still serving, gobbing off online. I mean, I technically am, but I've had my chit in, so it don't count. It's a fucking freebie.
What you said's mad, right? Paul and I, obviously, we both served, both veterans, and we both left on our own terms. Lots of, as in, like, we put our chit in when we needed to, when it was our time to leave. Lots of people don't have that choice, and it is like they leave because they need to leave, whether it's medically, whether it's the end of their service, and it is a nerve-wracking time. And that's one of the things behind the podcast is for leaving the military and transitioning into a civvy job is hard anyway. But like people like you and the other people on the podcast, transitioning from the military and going into business, it fascinates us, mate. And one of the driving reasons as to why we started the podcast.
I also think it's one of those things where I would get fucking eaten. Imagine me in like a suit and tie in the corporate world. Like it'd be fucking carnage. And like genuinely, I wouldn't wish it upon any 9-to-5 worker. Imagine me like on the tube and that, just like with all my Tupperwares cutting around and trying to like
debriefing people left, right, and centre.
Yeah, just like banging snussing 24/7 in the meetings. Like, it'd be so frowned upon. People would be like, "What are you doing?" So, like, I think it is. I'm blessed to be able to go down the career that I am going down now, and it's a bit of luck. Well, mainly luck, tiny bit of skill. But like, yeah, I feel like I feel like I've like slipped into my own niche now, and it's it's pretty much just being one of the boys, but other people get to watch it.
Yeah. Teg, so you served, like Matt said, over 8.5 years, or coming up to 8.5 years within the Royal Marines. Can you just give us a brief highlight of your military career?
Yeah, so originally I joined up at 18, and I was a fucking musician in the band service beforehand. So I literally was a fucking horn blower class, I know. But like, so I had like quite a musical background when I was growing up. And then one of the conductors, like that bloke that fucking waves a little stick around at the front of everyone, and like you got everyone just fucking looking in at him. He was an ex-bandy, and he was like, "What are you thinking about doing when you leave? When you fucking like turn 18, you're gonna go to uni or whatever?" And I went, "Nah, no chance. Look at me." And he was like, "You ever thought about like a career in music, doing like the military side as well?" So he basically just fucking shifted me in that general direction. So I knew nothing about the military. None of my family in military. I'm literally the only gadgie. And just went to a little like open week thing they had where you get to like experience it. And then before you know it, I was balls deep in my application, passed it, and then passed the application. Then you do like a watered down phase 1 at CTC, and then go into your bandy training, which is like 2.5 years, unless you fucking pass out early. I passed out 3 months early, but if you do the whole stint, it's like 2 years, 8 months. Went up to fucking Scotland Band, up at like MOD Caledonia in Rosyth, fucking middle of nowhere. Bear in mind, I lived in Exeter, and I didn't drive, so it took me a fucking tram, bus, plane, and then a coach to get fucking home if I wanted to go home. So I was just a little camp orphan. And then I basically just got the itch for like wanted to do a little bit more. There were a few bootnecks that lived in my grot, and they were just telling me about how hoofing like being a commando was, and I was like, yeah, Jen, I'll fucking have this. And then literally put in my request to transfer probably within 2 weeks of being at my unit. So all that training went down the fucking drain. But like I still got to do loads of like good like highlights of the band stuff. Fucking like Mountbatten, like Belfast International Tattoo, just 10 days in fucking Belfast playing music and just getting on it. And then literally like Horse Guards, Mountbatten Music Festival, London duties, loads of cool stuff. And then did my PRMC in what? Fucking hell, must have been 2020, like February 2020. And then obviously COVID hit, which fucked it. So we went into lockdown, and because of fucking lockdown and COVID, my transfer got delayed. But then I ended up joining Troop in like October 2020, and then literally passed out of training original, which is pretty fucking cool. That was what I always wanted to do, because I also just basically burnt all my not burnt all my bridges with the band, but I was giving it the fucking big ones whenever I came into work, being like, lads, you're never going to see me again. So if I got injured or like failed, I would have like a right tit if I had to come back. So that was a really good achievement, and also a fucking relief because my pride is still intact. And then literally passed out, went down to Commando Logistics Regiment as my first draft, and then went over to Air Defence, where I've been for the last 2.5 years. PSQ, unbelievable spec, really, really class. Down to fucking Norway, America, Australia, and then Australia again. It's been a busy last couple of years. Really, really fucking busy. But obviously now we're winding down, and I pretty much feel like I've done everything I wanted to do. Like America was unbelievable. Norway, you're not a real bootneck, you haven't done Norway. I mean, it's pretty like it's still a good thing to do. And then Australia on a rugby tour, fucking Gibraltar on a rugby tour, and then Australia are actually doing like soldiering and not just fucking throwing an egg and getting shites in Sydney. And that's pretty much it in a fucking nutshell. Pretty decent if I do say so.
It's a whistle stop tour, mate. But I think going from the Royal Marines band into Royal Marines is a huge achievement. Passing the Royal Marines course first time over is again a huge achievement. But I think it's quite nice that you got to experience the good things of the band. A friend of mine is a warrant officer in the Royal Marines band, done it his whole career, 30 years, and he's done all the things like Mountbatten Festival countless times over. And when you watch it on telly, like the Royal Marines band, they're the best in the world, aren't they?
The boys love it. Or the boys always go to like Mountbatten
as a band, yeah. As a military band, they're amazing, mate. So to have had the experience to do that and then move into the Royal Marine space, I think that, as a Royal Marines commander, I think that's pretty incredible, to be honest.
Yeah, it fucking helped out when we were doing drill because I already knew how to march. So that was a little fucking win.
So that was your career coming to a close. Started as a band in the Royal Marines. So now as you transition and you start in your business, or you're into the business, just what is Tegs Coaching?
So the name actually fucking came from like literally I was a sprog fresh out the box, and I managed to wangle myself into like the core rugby union setup, and we'd gone to Gibraltar, and it's like one of the best 5-day fucking trips you can do. You literally just go, you play one game against Gibraltar, like select 15, and it's basically just a 5-day fucking piss up. It's carnage. Go every year and it's class. And then like obviously as soon as you pass out, you're like a rabbit in the headlights, aren't you? And you're just like, what the fuck is going on? And then like, so I've obviously gone on this trip thinking, yeah, everything's happy. Like I'm scared to breathe around anyone because I'm like, I've got the lowest 3-0 and I'm fucking panicking. And like, we just went like, I think it was the second night we had gone out on the fucking piss, and it was like a shit shirt night. I didn't own any shit shirts at the time, and definitely hadn't packed any. So I was like, fuck, what should I do? One of the lads went, why don't you just wear one of like the training bibs that we've been wearing? So I put on this training bib, and then as we've all like RV'd at fucking the camp where we were staying at, and then they were like, what you wearing there, Tom? And I was like, I haven't got a shirt, so I've just worn this instead. And they've gone, yep, no integrity, blah blah blah. And I know, like they said, it used to be fucking no integrity Tom, and then we just shortened it to Tegs, and then the name just stuck. And then literally, like, when I went down to Air Defence, one of the lads who I was in Gibraltar with was also in Air Defence, so it just like carried on. And then now it's like no one has called me my birth certificate name in about fucking 3 years. And then literally, we were saying this the other week because I had my last game for like the core rugby union side, and then we were saying how like they were all asking how Tegs Coaching's going. And I was like, I was thinking about this the other day, and how fucking mental is it that like just a little fucking throwaway nickname that was given like three fucking plus years ago is now literally my whole personality and business model rolled into one. And I was like, I ain't giving you any dividends, but I appreciate the fucking help, because I'm not. Who wants to see Tom Day coaching? That don't fucking ring a bell, does it? Sounds wank.
But what is it? What is it about?
So it's
Is it for everybody, or
it's basically just showing that I always, whenever I've tried social media a couple of times before. When I was in a band, I tried it. I tried like starting up an Instagram and YouTube account because I used to fucking compete in bodybuilding when I was in the band, but I had fucking no muscle on me, and I was fucking like in the fucking fitness world, like my muscles were very underdeveloped and very immature. So even though I got down to like a decent % body fat, there's no fucking muscle to display. So I just looked like a fucking Oompa Loompa with fucking no tan or now like no nothing. And then I tried it that one time, and I was like, and then I sort of stuck at it for like 6 months, and I was pretty much probably posting more than I'm posting now, but I wasn't very aware of how social media worked. Like, this is back in the day, like, it was only posts that you put on Instagram. TikTok didn't exist. Reels weren't a fucking thing. It was either Instagram or fucking YouTube, like, videos. So that was like what I wanted to do alongside it. And then obviously, like, fucking band training took over, blah, blah. And then I ended up basically, long story short, tried social media another 2-3 times. Tried picking up, like, when TikTok came out, tried picking it up again in lockdown, doing like just because obviously there was nothing to do in lockdown. So I enjoyed making videos anyway. I've always enjoyed making videos and taking a camera everywhere. But so this is my 4th time trying social media. So I've been sort of in and around the game for a while. But all I hate is I just hated seeing all this stuff online of people just making themselves out to be something they're not. And I was like, I wanted Tegs Coaching to just be like a real fucking young lad who is been around the fucking block a little bit, done a few different things, and also just not like no cloak and dagger, no bullshit. I feel like my main fucking USP and the reason why people watch me is because I'm sort of authentic and raw. And it's like you watch it and you watch a video, and it's one of those things where one of my main things that I'm really happy with is, first of all, it's crazy that I've met people that follow me in real life. That is fucking sick. But every single person I like speak to or bump into in person or whatever, and they just start chatting to me, they all say that I'm the exact same online as I am in person, which I guess is what fucking Tegs Coaching is. It's just a lad who's fucking going from one walk of life to another, documenting it and trying to sort of fucking provide entertainment and a bit of fucking fitness advice along the way, in a nutshell.
Mate, I love that, mate. And I think, well, there's 2 things. First of all, you're not just from my point of view, you're not just sort of like a social media guy. You've had credible results from your coaching. You're displaying that. You've got athletes or you've got lads who are signed to you who are getting the results. You've got credibility and knowledge in the fitness space. Even to go from being in the Royal Marines band, like you said, to passing the commander course, that's huge, mate. And I think credibility in this space goes a long, long way.
Yeah, I think we'll probably touch on it later about like how to, because obviously everyone always asks me, because I've obviously come out the woodwork. 10 months ago, I didn't even exist. Like, obviously I did. I was cutting around fucking being in Norway getting Reynards, but like online, I didn't fucking exist. And then everyone always asks like, how do I start a fucking fitness page and do what you're doing? And I was like, lad, literally for the first 3 months, I gave everything out for free. Now I had no intention of making it. My initial goal was to start monetizing it. Was to be able to be in a position to monetize Tegs Coaching by my last day in uniform. So I wanted 10,000 followers on Instagram, 10,000 on TikTok, and I wanted maybe 10 clients that would tide me over. And I was gonna, but then like as I started growing and people were doing all the stuff that I was giving out for free, and they were like, "Fucking hell, this is working." And then like literally within like 2 months, people were like messaging me asking to like, "Mate, can you fucking coach me?" And I was like, "Yeah, lad, I'll take you on for fucking free," because like you said, the testimonials are a lot more fucking valuable to me than fucking money. I didn't need the money. I was still getting paid by the call. So like, and I've got no outgoings. I've got fucking like, I literally don't pay for accommodation. The only thing that fucking drains me is my car. And like, I was like, there's no point in trying to fucking charge lads this early on. And then I literally knew, and then literally like 2 weeks later, I got fucking told I was going to Australia on a deployment. And I was like, well, I'll just fucking stay with that 10 there, solidify those testimonials. And then when I come back, I'll fucking start taking on people again. But then obviously in Australia, I blew up and had a couple of viral videos. And then like, okay, I think I left for Australia with like 3,000 followers. And I came back with like 15K. So it's fucking crazy. But then that was only in July, and what we're now 6 months later, and we're on fucking 30, 35.6, 35.7.
It's an incredible growth, mate. But also, listening to you, it's not a fluke. Do you know what I mean? It's not a fluke. You had a plan. You were posting good content, and this was your plan, but it blew up. And I think your knowledge and the way you've approached social media is brilliant, mate. I think absolutely brilliant.
I think the good thing is that a lot of, obviously you see on like fucking TikTok, Instagram, all that stuff, there's a lot of like trends and that go around. And obviously when you're first starting out, trends are a good way to fucking get caught up within the algorithm and get your stuff noticed, because then if you have a video that goes like semi-viral, gets more views than your average fucking video does, it obviously entices more people in, more watch time, which then fucking boosts the algorithm even more. And then basically when, say, like you've done a viral video, whatever, someone's like, yeah, that's fucking funny, I'll drop them a follow. When they then obviously follow your account, the fucking algorithm is like, right, they followed his page because they like that video. Let's push out a couple more videos to him. The thing is, no, everyone's fucking either afraid or fucking like isn't like confident enough to put their personality out there. And it was like I was saying to you earlier, like everything's been covered on social media. So it's like your personality and the way that you deliver things is what will entice people and keep them in. So they could, after following you, they could see like 2-3 more videos on your account. And then, but if it's just like more shit and like just there's a bit of music behind, then it's like a little fucking bit of text on the screen saying fucking eat less calories and you'll get skinnier. Everyone knows that, lad. You can fucking chat GPT that shit. Like it's one of them. And obviously they won't interact with those videos that then get pushed out to them, which then means that you either just gain a junk follower, and then like if anything that'll decrease your chances on the algorithm getting pushed, or they'll just unfollow you because they'll be like, he's literally just fucking made a shite video that's got caught luck in the algorithm. And it is a bit of luck, but there is also a lot of science to it, as well as not being a fucking boring bloke. Because I like to think that my personality pretty much carries. Well, I like to say that I've got a video coming out later in the week that I've recorded about like how this is my fucking last day in the military, whatever, and it's obviously going to go live on my last day. And I was saying like the whole like people that enjoy watching my videos, obviously my main demographic is like 18 to 30 or whatever. Like it used to be solely young lads joining, and now it's just young lads. Like I reckon I'm 90% lifestyle now and 10% military, which is a good blend. But I was saying that what you're seeing and what you're watching on your screens is what 8 years in the military does to a person, how it shapes them, like the way I act, how like my fucking banter is, and how I sort of like approach life and approach everything I do with my training, eating, discipline, like all that comedic stuff. It's all been shaped by the fucking core. So if you enjoy doing that, then that could be like a way that you go down, or you're just one of the fucking lads, which is a reason why loads of lads join up. And it's just like you relate to it because you're a young lad with fucking mates that are similar, and you like just fucking banging gym, getting ripped, and just causing a ruckus.
Love it.
I think that's fucking. I'll tell you, I think I've gone off on a bit of a tangent there. What are we talking about?
I don't think you have gone off a tangent at all, mate. I think it's exactly the tangent. What the next thing we were going to ask about is the lessons that you've learned. But I think I just want to pull back onto something you've mentioned about young lads and hitting the gym and stuff. When I was a young lad, long time ago, and when Paul was a young lad, when we were in our 20s, mate, right? The gym wasn't a thing. Now, I joined the army when I was 16. I was a PTI when I was 18. Back then in the army, you did 2 courses, a class 3 course and a class 2 course. And all the lads on my course, some of which went on to be in the PT course and all that kind of stuff. At that time, in our 20s, we were PTIs because we were fitter than everyone else, because we could run faster than everyone else. It wasn't because we had a passion for the gym, mate. It wasn't because we understood the knowledge and what you need to put in and what you need to put out. It just meant that we were fitter and stronger than most people, mostly by fluke. My eldest son, Ethan, is 22, right? And since he was 14, he is interested in his body. He's interested in training. He's interested in like working out. It is a change in society that Going the gym's a thing. Going the gyms and looking cool is a thing. Going the gym and training and getting the gains is a thing. And I think people like you are needed as a motivator for that.
Oh
Do you
yeah,
know what I mean?
100%. But I also think it's one of those things where it's like I said earlier, how what I think is so important about my Tegs Coaching, what we were saying before the pod went live, was that I show everything. I don't just say like, right, you have to eat chicken and rice fucking 5 times a day, bro, to get in this shape, because I'd be just fucking lying to the lads. And it's like everyone knows that, like, the thing is, I like to see it as you've got to be able to make it flexible to be able to fucking stick to you. Because if you don't have a flexible, because this is how I talked about like fucking binge eating and that on my like page a little bit with when I came out of competing, and how I was just yo-yo dieting and it wasn't healthy, and it was because I obviously over restricted. And the last thing you want to be doing is shoving that down lads' throats, being like, if you fucking go out and drink a fucking drop of alcohol and talk to a woman, your whole life's gonna fucking implode. Like that isn't how it like fucking works at all. It's about making it, adapting it into part of your lifestyle, so that then it's something that you enjoy, and then say once a month or once every fucking couple of months or whatever, you go let off some steam, because at the end of the day you're still a young lad, and you want to have memories that aren't just you fucking in the gym on a Saturday night, and just because you post an Instagram story saying, yeah, I'm locked in, it'll look cool for about 5 minutes, but then when you look back at when you're in like your 40s, your 50s, you're like, I literally wasted my teens and my 20s just in the gym, and like for maybe what 1 or 2% more progress, and like I don't think that's really fucking worth it in my eyes.
Mate, what I love, honestly, it's like is the way you talk about this, right? Is I love it. I love the knowledge you bring, but also you put a reel out. I think it might have been yesterday, and you were talking about when people are cutting and they're in it, that it's fucking hard, and you're like, it is hard, and I think you said embrace the suck, and I totally get that, mate. For people who are trying, it isn't easy. It isn't always going to be easy, and if people want the gains, they're going to have to dig in for those bits that they're digging in, and then enjoy
Yeah,
the other
because
times.
it's one of those. I always say it on my story all the time. I'm like, to become more than average, you have to do what the average are not willing to do. And like, obviously now, if you look at like since New Year's Eve, I've fucking sent it a bit too hard, and I'm a bit scarred from fucking going out. So like that wrote me off. My New Year's Day, like everyone on New Year's Day is posting like, oh, look at me going for a fucking 5K run. Shut up! I was in bed, fucking hanging out my asshole. Like my 2025 was off to the worst start physically possible. Couldn't even move. I fell asleep on a train from Bristol back to Plymouth on the floor. That is literally like, that was my New Year's Day. And I didn't even eat anything. But then obviously like from the 2nd of January, yeah, because everyone knows that New Year, New Me starts on the 2nd, not the 1st. It was one of those where like, because I knew I was going to Thailand, which obviously I will probably come on to in a bit, because I have that sort of carrot, yeah, like lads, yeah, the carrot, right, don't fuck it up. Because I have that over my head, it's like, if people are new that are following me, they might be like, fucking hell, this bloke doesn't go out and drink, this bloke doesn't do this, he doesn't do that. And it's all about like moderation and stuff, because I know that if I put in the work now, obviously from fucking January through to the end of February, making sure the business is all good, making sure I'm in good nick, making sure that everything's fucking perfect for when I go away, it means that I can relax when I'm in Thailand. Like business side, I can relax. Nutrition and fucking fitness side, I've got a couple of people that I'm doing some collaborations. I've got like combat fuel athletes that are already out there. He sent me a photo of him the other day, being like, "I'm in the best nick of my life. You better not come out here looking like a welly." I just sent him a photo of me in the fucking mirror, ripped, and I went, "Don't worry about it, lad. Full stop." But like, I would fit like, it's one of those. Although it might seem like quite shallow to some people, I personally always feel happier when like I've worked towards like going on holiday or something, and then you fucking take a photo or whatever of you just at the beach, and you're like, I'm content with this look because I've worked for this look. And then everything, like things can be a bit more relaxed in Thailand. If I want to have a fucking beer, I'll have a beer. I ain't going to be out there fucking trying to scan food on MyFitnessPal. Being like, oh, how many grams of protein is in this fucking pad thai? I don't know. I'm just going to eat it. I'm just gonna be like flexible. Do you know what I mean? I'm not gonna obsess, but it's like I like to like. It's almost like fucking changing gears, isn't it? At the moment, I'm in a fucking high gear because I'm deep into a cut, making sure everything's fucking good with Tegs Coaching, tying up any loose ends for when I fucking leave the military. But then when I get on that plane and I go on the fucking Turkish Airlines via fucking Istanbul and then to fucking Bangkok, I'll be fucking chilled out, and whatever fucking meal gets put in front of me on that plane, I ain't going to ask about the macros. I'm going to eat it because I've probably got someone next to me that stinks of BO or a baby crying. So I'll be like, Jen, give me a bread roll now.
all the way.
That'll be it. It's all about like, and that's what I say to all my clients as well. It's just about being flexible and like, we can obviously lock in now, but then most clients will be like, someone messaged me and they were saying he'd like literally been locked in for 3 and a bit weeks, and he was like, "Oh lad, it's my anniversary of my me and my missus. Can like what how are we going to approach this?" He's like, "Do you want me to like take food out with me to the fucking restaurant?" I went, "Lad, have a fucking day off, innit?" I was like, "You don't want to be how threaders is your missus going to be if you go to a swanky restaurant? She's getting all this like bougie food, and you pull out some like tuna and jacket potato. You get booted out of the restaurant, lad, and probably booted out of the house." I was like, have a fucking night off. It's chilled. And then literally, like, he had that meal on the Friday. By the Sunday, he was back to his baseline weight. He hadn't lost any progress, because that's another annoying thing about social media is that they'll all say like, if you fucking fall off once, that'll be you, all your progress done, or someone's going to be ahead of you. And it's like, lad, it isn't that fucking deep. Which is why also brings it back again full circle to why I think people relate, because they see what nick I'm in and how like sort of see the look that I've gone for, and they go, he's managed to achieve that. But then literally a couple months ago, I saw him at Warehouse Project with his top off, fucking having a whole bottle of wine. So like it's both sides of the spectrum.
Yeah.
So Tegs, you touched on it a bit there about what's kind of happening next in your life, but what is next for sort of Tegs Coaching?
So it's obviously mega exciting. Like I could talk about this for days, but I won't, because like honestly, like as you can tell, I'm so passionate about like all like the social media stuff and all of that, and I just literally just go off on tangent. Whenever anyone asks me how Tegs Coaching is going, it's always like a passing comment, and before you know it, they're in ditlock for half an hour, and I'm 5-finger pointing them, going, "Look at these analytics. Look at my insights from the last 20 days." But so my plan is short term. So I like to obviously break it down into your SMART goals, yeah, short, medium, and long term goals. So obviously short term is Thailand, Bali, and then we've got a little drum and bass holiday in Portugal, like a little festival to like finish it off. So we're actually taking Thailand and Bali as a work trip. So one of my really good mates, who's a civvy, he's flying out with me and basically being my cameraman. He's a little bit younger than me, but he's always wanted to go traveling. And then obviously I was telling him about it. I think we met up for a coffee a couple of months ago, and I was telling him about it, being like, "Mate, I'm well excited to go." And he was like, "Can I come?" And I went, "Yeah, you busy?" And he was like, "Yeah, but I'll just have to like leave my job and that." Jen, the next day, the lad left. He's put his notice in at his job, and then he finishes work this week. And so I'm going out there for like a massive content push, because I always say that social media is your fucking business. You could be the best fucking PT in the world. You could have every qualification under the fucking sun, and you literally have coached fucking Ronaldo at one point in your life. But that's not, you could even be displaying that on social media. But if you haven't got the reach, the audience, the engagement, the fucking target market that you're trying to push for, no one's going to, a post with 2 likes is not going to fucking bring in that fucking like return on investment. So I'm really wanting to make a massive push for the socials, because I also really enjoy making social media content. I feel like there's no one at all in like the social media space that has left the military and then straight away gone on like a fucking traveling adventure where it's just, there's no real plan. Literally, I've got like my fucking ticket out and my ticket to Portugal. Within that 9 weeks, fuck knows what's going to happen. Like, there's a couple of things that are in the works. Another combat fuel athlete, Resurgent Harry. He's basically like my fucking dad. Literally met him once at the first combat fuel event I went to, and then I'm now meeting up with him in Phuket for a week. So we're going to be doing some stuff out there, and then we're planning on going around like South Thailand, but just like filming everything, and like 3 YouTube videos a week, 5 TikToks a day, 2 to 3 Instagram reels a day. Really pushing it, wanting minimum of 50k Instagram, 50k TikTok, and probably 5 to 10,000 YouTube subscribers when we're back. Like, that's the plan. And then my mate flies back from fucking after the rave in Portugal on like the 6th. I'm flying to Zante for a month because I'm DJing out there for a month, which is going to be unbelievable. So I'm flying out there for a month till June, and then June is like looking like, by that time I would have probably decided whether I'm gonna keep traveling or come back to the, because I know when I come back to the UK, all my medium and long term plans I've got to want to do right away. So I might end up going back to America for a couple of months. There's a couple of UK festivals that I plan on doing fucking meetups at, a Tegs Coaching meet and greet at fucking Boomtown, which would be unbelievable. But yeah, if I don't go travelling again, I'm moving out my fucking folks' house because I've been living on base for the last 8 years. So like this, I've just been having a little haven here as my office to make content. So I'm going to move out of there and probably move up to around Bristol because it's just a bit more like popping, and I can't be asked driving fucking 6 hours to go to any sort of event or collaboration meetup. And then I basically realised that social media ain't going to last forever. Obviously, when America fucking banned TikTok for 24 hours, everyone was fucking shitting themselves, and they're all like, the fact that some people's main form of income can be taken away like that, it's almost like being made redundant in the civvy world. So I want to have a more sustainable form of income. So I'm looking at buying my own fucking gym, kitting it out, and then obviously documenting a full YouTube series on that of building my own gym, and then do like loads of fucking lift meets, and then obviously have it as just like that as another form of income, because looks are going to fade. I ain't going to be this essence forever. I need to have like a longer fucking like another avenue. And also, what's wrong with having multiple streams of income?
I think it's sensible, mate. It's
if Tegs Coaching is doing well and doing what he's like you shouldn't fucking rest on your laurels. You should always be like looking to do fucking more. So that is the end goal: is open up a gym, come back well travelled, and not dead, and then move out, fucking just keep fucking leveling up. Really, just seeing if by the end of the year, I'd like to have 100,000 followers on every single platform by the end of the year. I think that'd be fucking mental.
If that happens, when that happens, just remember
the pod. Mate.
Just remember the pod, right? I'm not saying this is the platform for great things, but you know what I mean? It's nothing but
come down to the gym. We'll do a live pod.
Put the business in the ionosphere, mate.
Yeah.
I think it's ace, mate. Just talking about Resurgent Harry, he put a post. He put a short post on about his Garmin being a Tamagotchi. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did. And it went absolutely viral.
It went mental. It was on telly, mate. It was on the radio.
It was on Radio 1. He messaged me and he was like, lad, I'm literally on the radio. And I went, all right, show off.
Oh, yeah. And what I thought was impressive with that was then what I've also seen is 4 or 5 other influencers just basically copy exactly what he's done. And if an imitation is the greatest compliment, isn't it? You know, people are literally getting thousands of likes by stealing his, a brilliant idea.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's not how you're going to fucking grow your target audience. If you're just copying what other people are fucking posting, like, you're not getting, especially from like a business point of view, you're not getting your fucking return on fucking investment or whatever. Because even if you're getting all these followers and all these likes and stuff, it's only... everyone is just so obsessed with chasing views, chasing numbers. And I know I've just said how I want all these fucking followers by the end of the year. That's obviously like a goal that I've set. It's always good to be ambitious, but whenever I'm making a video, I don't try and chase things that are fucking like that are trending or that are going viral, because I'll fall out of love with making videos. I like just waking up in the morning and thinking, what am I going to fucking make today? Like what video, let my brain be fucking creative. And then if it goes viral, it goes viral. If it doesn't, I'm lucky enough to have established an audience that enjoy watching whatever I put out. So I know that at the end of the day, they'll still be happy. And then if it reaches a wider audience, then we're fucking win-win.
Tegs, honestly, mate, it's been fascinating speaking to you. Fascinating. And as I say, I follow you on social media, mate. I see your content, and your content is like what I really like, and what stands out for me is your just raw authenticness. And that's what I see, like you said about, I don't want to copy trends. You don't copy trends. You did a video the other day about your car breaking down, and I couldn't stop watching it, mate. I thought it was hilarious. All I kept thinking was, can you not got fucking spare? You not got one of those pumps? Do you know what I mean? It was just like, I couldn't stop watching it. And it's like it was ace, mate, because it was, as I say, something that's, after a very long weekend driving to Preston, nothing good can come from driving from Exeter to Preston, by the way.
Yeah.
But like from a shitty thing, you've thought this is an opportunity for content. This is, you know what I mean? I'm just going to make something, and that's what one of the things I like. It's that, again, that raw authenticity. The fact that, go on.
You're hilarious, mate.
That helps.
Mate, the way you talk about stuff, it's just like. It's fucking hilarious.
It's brilliant, mate. I really, yeah. And I think, mate, you're going to have the best time traveling.
Yep.
And also, it's what I love as well is you saying about your mate quitting his job to go and travel to be your like media guy.
Yeah.
Who knows where that will lead for him? You know,
Yeah,
he
I
could
mean,
be
obviously the
fucking.
end
He could
goal.
be on.
I did say to him, I was like, if YouTube fucking flies, because YouTube monetization is a lot better than TikTok's. Obviously, like you got the TikTok Creator Fund, and everyone thinks as soon as you get 10K, you can be fucking Wolf of Wall Street in it, like rolling on a better Monday, like better money, and Margot Robbie's going to come in with like fucking loads of caviar and shit. It ain't like the crap. Like it's only in the last like 2 months that I've properly started making money from TikTok, and I've had like multiple viral videos. Fucking one of my best performing videos, well, the best money fucking getting videos, if that's even English, was that 30 miler video, because they only take things that are a minute or so over long, and it's only videos that are over a minute long that get fucking processed for the Creator Fund, and even then you've got fucking revenue for fucking per 1,000 views, and you only get paid. Like, the RPM is only like fucking probably what fucking 50 to 60p, and even then you've got qualified views within that fucking RPM. So say like I think that 30 miler video is on like 600 something thousand, which is crazy. That amount of people have seen me Freddy it, class. But it's also one of them where out of that 600 plus thousand, probably only 200 to 300,000 are qualified views, so you can already fucking half it. And a lot of the things with these trends, and people are like, yeah, look at me, I've got 10K. All these trends are like 5-6 seconds, because that's what TikTok wants to push, because it knows that's what's going to keep people on the app longer. It's like short, sharp fucking videos. So they're not getting any money from it. Like, which is why it's. So I said to him, I was like, if this turns into a fucking movie, and we come back and we got all this stuff from that, I was like, why? What need would there be like for you to fucking go back to your job? It'd be fucking class if I could employ someone on the books, and like a mate as well on like the Tegs Coaching books. That within the space of a year, that'd be fucking nuts.
But there are so many like recent examples. I'll give you a couple of recent examples of like obviously the hardest geezer running the length of Africa. I had a team with him just doing his videos, just recording his stuff, being his wingman. There's a guy on Instagram called One Life Truck It, and he's a guy, mate. A year ago, just when his life was in shit state, was like, I'm just going to fucking renovate a truck into a camper and drive to Australia. And he basically has been long story short, he's been driving for a year with his dog. He met like a French girl in the Alps, and she was like, I'll come with you, with her dog. And now, mate, they've been traveling a year, drove through Afghanistan, everywhere. They're in Cambodia now, mate. He signed a book deal, and he just basically got a truck, packed his cameras and his drone, and documented the whole thing. Yeah, and now he's it's alley as fuck, mate. And he's just quit his job and did exactly that. So you never know where these things lead.
Yeah, content's king, man. I'll always say it. I'll always say content is king. Like, fucking people are just interested in other people's lives. Like, the amount of people that fucking if you think about it, and you're like, I always like when I'm making videos, it's like, what would I be watching? And I love just watching people just doing random shit, which is why obviously the idea of traveling came to me in the first place. But then I was like, when my mate said, oh yeah, I could come out and film you, I was like, that's going to make everything so much easier. Like, we've got cameras, we've got drones, we've got GoPros, we've got fucking 17 like fucking tripods. And it's going to be like, but I don't know, you probably haven't seen it because it's probably a bit after your fucking time. But so like, there was this thing called like the Ziz. You heard of like Ziz and fucking all that like hardstyle music. It's like a gym era. And it's basically like, the lads basically used to do what I do now back in the day. They used to go out and party all the time. They were always fucking shredded, blasted like hardstyle music, and like everyone would be like, fucking hell, this is the life that I want to look up to. And that's my sort of aim, is to bring back like that era. But then obviously that appeals to my fucking demographic audience. And I've just like, I think just watching like a bloke who just like, even I wouldn't say my life is fucking bad. If anything, it's fucking decent. But like a lot of things just fucking happen to me. And like, it's funny because my mates say that fucking know me. They're like, I find it really fun because I know you on such a personal level. And it's only funny because it's happened to you. Because I always does it. Even like the fucking car tire blowing up, they're like, of course that would happen to you. Like, it's just one of those things. And it's like, if it happened to anyone else, they'd be like, nah, it's just fucking someone's had a fucking burst tire. It happens, innit? But it's like, because it's me, they're like, fucking hell, there's no way. And it's like, I feel like it's just, it merges together and makes a fucking good path for me.
I think one of the things for me that comes across, and it comes across from all the guests we have on the podcast, right, is the passion for what they're doing. And your passion, mate, for social media, and your knowledge Like, that is deep knowledge in shit, mate. You're not just a bloke throwing content out, throwing shit at a wall and hoping it sticks. Your understanding of the social media platforms is phenomenal. I've learned so much, mate, in the last 20 minutes, even about algorithms. I have to say, we are relatively small on social media. You can follow us if you want, Tegs. That'd be great. That'd be
Yeah,
mega.
we'll do. That's big. I don't follow many people as well. That's a fucking big.
Yeah, no, I noticed that. Yeah,
Jen will do after this. I fucking I can't lie.
and and it's like, it's one of those things where you just don't think. You know, you don't know what gets views. From our point of view, we do this as voluntary. You know what I mean? We do it in our own time. We are in our 40s. You know what I mean? And we're like trying to. And it isn't a question. Oh, we want to be cool on social media. It's an outlet and a platform for us to share the journeys of veterans who are doing really well and who are going into business. So we see it as like an opportunity to celebrate the success of veterans and people to learn from it. Like, people will watch this episode with you and learn so much about the social media aspect. Because whatever you do in business these days, social media is really important.
Yeah,
no matter what you do.
Massive.
And if you try and ignore it, you know, or you don't embrace it, your business is not going to be as successful as it would be if you did.
I was literally about to say you're going to get fucking left behind because that's the way the world's fucking going. I also think it's really good as well. I don't think there's enough, like, fucking, like, because you could probably class it as fucking educational. Yeah, people listening to this, they're probably driving down the M5, threaders, going back to fucking base. But it's one of them where it's like, you never really hear too much of people, like people that have left that are doing well. If a bloke's doing well, like, they're just like, oh, yeah, he's doing all right, isn't he? But then, like, I feel like sometimes it's one of those things where, I don't know, definitely not in fucking Air Defence. They've been so supportive of me doing all of this. But I can imagine, like, when some people leave and they're doing bad, they go, oh, you heard this bloke's doing bad. And it's like people are trying to hop on fucking, like, lads, like, downfall. And I think that, especially if you're leaving and you're a bit, like, nervous, it's one of those things where having something like this, where you've had loads of, like, all, like, ex-forces boys on and they're all fucking smashing it. Like, you can't really class it as me, because I'm obviously still in. Like, who knows what could happen in fucking 3 months? So I could fucking post something mental and then get banned off everything. But it's like, it's really good. I think it gives lads loads of fucking reassurance that are leaving, that there is stuff out there outside of the military. It's not. I hate fucking when people just say, oh, the grass isn't always greener. There's nothing. There's not much you can do outside that will beat the fucking military. I think that's not true at all. Like, you can't fucking scare lads into staying just so, like, your retention numbers look better. If a lad wants to go, he wants to go. And you should be giving him the best support network and the best fucking advice going out into it. So, like, things like this are really useful, and seeing other people that have left that have fucking smashed it, because that's what gives the lads the confidence to go, well, if he's fucking done it, then I can fucking do it. And that was literally the same with me. I saw people like fucking Harry Shep. So, like, all the bootnet PTRs are doing really, really well with their coaching. But, like, obviously, Harry Shep was my sort of, when I was going into doing it, all of this social media stuff. Obviously, I've been following him for a while because I just found his stuff interesting. And it was like, well, he's done really well for himself. And literally, when I had like 1,000, 2,000 followers, we've got fucking DMs of me asking him for advice, being like, oh, lad, I'm thinking about starting doing this. Would you... Is this a good idea? Like, do you think this is, or like, I think I asked him a question of how to like set something up, like, coaching wise, when I first fucking started, and then literally fast forward 8 months, I'm fucking talking at his event, which is fucking crazy. But it's like, it's all, especially when you leave, like, the support network of, like, which is exactly what the reason why I did that thing for WeServe, because what they're trying to do, I think, is really, really important, and especially like, whenever obviously anyone says the word veteran, all they hear is fucking, all they see is like old, wrinkly, fucking has a blue badge. They don't see, like, you wouldn't like pair my face with the word fucking veteran, which is really fucking crazy. But I think especially now, a lot of younger lads that are leaving, it's more the average like time served is now like 4 to 6 years. So a lot of lads are doing their time and then leaving, and then they're in their mid to late 20s by the time they get out. So I think that, yeah, like I said, stuff like this is really beneficial to show lads that there is stuff on the outside, and it's not as soon as you leave you get fucking swallowed up into a pit of fire, because like you can't survive without the military.
And mate, honestly, and that's exactly, I think, what we're after. We're after just celebrating the success of people who served. Whether you serve for 2 or 3 years, or whether you serve for 23 years, it doesn't matter. You serve your country. Whether you deployed 100 times or whether you didn't deploy at all, if you served, you served and you're a veteran. And I think that what veterans go on to achieve, including what you've achieved already and what undoubtedly you are going to achieve, is fascinating, mate. And the easy option is to stay in. Absolutely, the easy option is to stay in. Like you say, cheap accommodation, it's a decent wage, prospects to promote. I'll just stay in. So to have the bravery to leave, the bravery to set up a business, mate, is an absolute testament to you. And, we really appreciate you giving your time to come on the podcast.
Oh no, boys, it's fucking class. All the lads were smashing me saying, we want to see you on a fucking podcast. And I was like, my whole goal this year, now I've got so much more free time. Obviously last year I was running 2 full-time jobs, the fucking core and Tegs Coaching. And obviously as Tegs Coaching kept getting more and more workload, it's become like I had to keep like fucking turning things down, and literally like I finished work at fucking 1600, bang gym, make content, eat, sleep, repeat, and I'd do nothing else. No collabs, no fucking nothing. I said to myself this year, I'd say fucking yes to everything and get out on as much stuff as possible. And I've always found like back in the day, I used to actually listen to a couple of like just have podcasts on in the background and not just fucking white noise and 180 BPM music. But it's like it's really good doing stuff like this. It's also just really interesting to like chat and like meet other lads and sort of hear what they've done. I like hear my side of the fucking story, how I've done this, and talking about stuff like this is just really, really fucking. I think it's fucking class.
Mate, honestly, it's been an absolute honour and a pleasure to have you on, mate. And, I cannot wait to release the episode because, as I say, your insight and your knowledge in what you do and your focus on social media is mind-blowing, mate. And it's maybe another revenue stream, to coach people on their social media. Just saying, you heard it here first.
I know. But then I also, it's one of them, and it's like, I would imagine charging someone to fucking, because the thing is, it could not work. Just because it's worked for me, it don't mean it's going to work for anyone else. It's like, imagine me selling a 400 fucking quid course on, this is guaranteed to make you go viral. You're doing it for 3 months and they're literally sitting at 300 views, and I'm like, scratching my head.
They're out there, aren't they?
Yeah.
Tegs, it's out there. There's people selling this fucking snake oil. Like, it's there, and that's an issue.
All I'm saying is, mate, I've learned so much from you, mate. And listen,
100%.
well, it's been an absolute pleasure, mate. So thank you so much for giving me the time. If we don't speak to you again, have a fantastic time on your travels. Cannot wait to see the content. Cannot wait to see you smashing the 100,000 followers. And when you do open your gym up in Bristol, I'm about 40 minutes up the M5, mate, in Gloucester. So, do you know what I mean? I will definitely come down and probably use one of your treadmills, mate, because I mainly run now.
I was going to say, we ain't going to have any fucking cardio machines.
Just have one, mate. Have one treadmill.
200 bench presses and a squat rack, and you're only allowed to curl in it. That's it.
I love it. But listen, all the best, Tegs. Thank you so much, mate, and we'll speak to you soon.
Cheers, boys. Thanks for having me on.